nobody diagnosed anything, but still he has something that I have something. I'm still not comfortable. So that person went to his the author's one of the session, and that is one side. The other side, there is a person who have kept the artificial pacemaker in his heart, and he's absolutely fine. And he's saying, I though there is a bomb bursting in my heart, like tuk, 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 it's a larger sound compared to yesterday. I'm living better. So basically, you just try to understand whatever the health issue. Every human being in the world, either one or the other issue, they have it. So he's taking one of his doctor's statement, doctor friend who have given a statement that in, let's say you take an entire 7 billion population, you can't even pick a single person stating, I don't have any of my health issues. From their head to toe, there will be something, but we should know how to manage it and live with it. Some of them will be like a chronic issues where we need a real treatment or a care, but that is the very minimal percentage. But rest of them will be having like, I'm feeling tired, I have an eye problem, I have this, that kind of scenarios. But except these things, you try to understand and accept what is your health and live with it. So don't think that I have a very bad health due to this, I could not achieve it. I have this problem, so I cannot spend time. I have this problem, I cannot do it. And there is one more example he have given is for a diabetes. So for a diabetes, one person is in the very minimal. He just diagnosed with a diabetes. So he's saying due to this, I couldn't do any of my activities. But there is another person who have shot up with a high level of diabetes with a very illness. He's telling that I'm really thanking the person who have invented the insulin. With their help, I can at least survive. Instead of keeping in my lying in the bed, I can survive and do myself whatever I supposed to do without impacting or getting a help from others. This is to conclude the health thing. So how can you overcome is you just try to understand everybody have a problem. You don't keep thinking that I have a problem, I have a problem. So basically, as we have spoken in our previous sessions, the subconscious mind keep thinking same thing will impact or influence you. So if there is a thing, you don't stop talking about your health issues with others. If there is a real problem, going consultation and other things is fine. But for minor things are where you wanted to get a sympathy kind of a thing, you don't keep telling it. If you keep telling it, you will get to it. That's what. Even I personally believe in this. Though I have a little bit of sickness, I don't reveal it. I will try to take a rest and I will be fine. You can say in my last 10 years career, I never took a sick leave. That's how though it doesn't mean that I never fall in sick. There will be situations, but we will be still managing to overcome that. So the second chapter is the brain. So people will be having a tendency that person have done his graduation in IIT. We have done something in MIT. I don't have a background. I doesn't have defined background or supporting factors to compete with others. That's not the fact. So the brain, to give you an example, again, author is giving a couple of examples. One side, the person with positive attitude with the minimum IQ is more performer than a negative attitude person with a very high attitude. Sorry, very high IQ. So in one of the automobile industry sales, one person was getting a 5x of the revenue or commission from his sales compared to all other agents. So he easy done 5 times better job, easy have a 5 times brain, or easy have 5 times physical build, or easy have 5 times time that he can go and meet more people. No, that's not the case. He thought 5 times better I can do it. Or he have kept his target so high. Whereas other people kept X, he thought the 5X can be doable. So keep thinking in the positive way. So the brain, you don't think that should be a problem at all at any point in time. So, and one more thing he's adding, there was a television show in that point in time. This author, okay. Just 1 minute, I will finish it. I will go to the second thing, third point, the age factor. The age, again, some people will be having a tendency that I'm too young to manage the team. Or when you're grown up, I'm too elder in my team, I cannot survive in my team, I couldn't adapt to my new technologies and all. So that's not the fact. But let it be any age. Even if you're in a small age, you can handle or manage the people with the higher age circle, because that's how the life leads you. Even if you are in a higher age where you need to report to your younger person, that's fine. It's not absolutely not a problem. You just try to do your job. And the last thing is coming with the luck. Some people will say when somebody is achieving, we will say that this person is very lucky. When somebody is not getting something, you will say this person is a bad luck guy. That's not the case. For everything, there is a cause. What author is saying, if the person whom we call denoted as a lucky person, he would have put an effort consistently, he would be reaching for his goals and working for his goals. When the results alone, it's been published to others and we are thinking this guy is result. But behind the screen, whatever the efforts he have put, for that he have gotten result. The same way, the bad luck guy, whomever we denoted, he wouldn't done anything, or is not met the required effort to achieve those things. So in that scenario, he wouldn't achieve it. So we may call it as a bad luck guy. So everything there is a cost. So you don't think that I'm a lucky or a bad lucky. So you put an effort, you will get for a results. So those are the four things to consider as an excuses.
Wow, Tamarai, thank you so much. That was a great brief. And I just, like you said, I think it's all about your head or your mind, right? How you think and how you want to act upon a situation. I really, I mean, that was a great example that you didn't, I mean, you didn't take sick leave in last 10 years. That's a great thing, actually. And thank you so much for that. And we all want to be motivated with this. I have put in my advice. If anyone has an advice for Tamarai's fear, I saw Vidya has put up something.
Thank you. I will take a look. Thank you, everyone.
Anyone else who wants to? Okay, we'll go to the next speaker. I think Vinita has joined. Vinita?
Hi, Tashindi.
Hi, good evening. Vinita, you have to talk about one fear that you have, and whoever has an advice or from their experiences or what they have learned or seen or heard, they can put up an advice for you. So might help you if you can talk about one fear and then talk about the book.
Fear is it seems ridiculous since 1 or 2 year I find difficult to light up the stove with lighter. I use matchstick.
Okay, I thought you were scared of matchstick and use lighter, but you were scared of lighter because it gives you a shock or something.
Yes.
Ah, you know there is a different kind of lighter that you can use. I'll try and find it and share it across with you on group. That
Sure.
might help you, right?
Yes.
But yeah, that's my advice. I'll find you that different kind of a lighter, not this like this one. There is one more which is like a gunshot and with the thumb also. If anyone has any suggestions, those who cook, please put it up in the chat box. Yeah, Vinita, you can go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much. So, hey all, good evening.
Good evening.
So, hope you all doing good.
Really good.
Yes, thank you. This is Vinuta. I'm from Mysore. So, as you all are aware that we are all going to discuss about this book named as The Magic of Thinking Big, written by David Squires. So, I'm going to talk about chapter 1. Believe you can succeed and you will. In this chapter, the author, first thing what he says that believe you can succeed and you will achieve. That means the only important part is that the belief system, right? If you believe that you can achieve and you can succeed, then you can if you at the first part, if you think that you can succeed, then half the way is done. That means 50% of the success is already there, and the rest 50% is your execution part. So it's all about training your mind, this mastermind, and nourishing it, what is that, conditioning it. So your mindset plays a very important role. So this is all about which is said in chapter 1. And in between, let me ask you all, so what according to you is meant by success? So we all are here around 10 to 11 people. So I want anyone to come up and tell what is success according to your perception. Anyone?
Having a peaceful and content life with oneself.
Wow, very good. So I would expect more answers, right? Thank you, Vidya.
Yeah, according to me, I think if you have a goal and you achieve that, so that gives us happiness and all those things. So I think that is kind of a success for me.
Good.
Suman
Anyone?
here, Vinita. Hi.
Thank you, Suman.
Satisfaction that you get after completing a certain task or goal that you've set for yourself. It need not be a bigger one or the biggest one of all, but even the smallest of things, if you complete, you wanted to complete and you complete it successfully, I think
Yes.
that's the point.
Thank you, Tashin. So as you can see, each and everyone has their own perception of success. So success is different for different people. For me, success might be different. So for each and every individual over here in this session, the definition of success is different. So I can call success as a variable, right? That means like as far as you are feeling great about it, or you have a good sense, or you feel motivated, then success is like you are at the right path. But that doesn't mean that you have to keep going around people, convincing them, pleasing them, saying that accept my perception of success. So to give an example, when I was in engineering, I was traveling to college and coming back to home by cycle. The only agenda was to keep myself fit. But that doesn't mean that like I have to ask other people to come by cycle. So my this is was some of the example. So we should never ever impose our perception about success, right? And the other part is that thinking is important. That is, success is all about thinking. So if you feel that, or if you think that you can achieve big, you can achieve big. Or you think that you can only achieve small, then you can only achieve small. So it's all about thinking. So as you sow, so you reap. And finally, I would like to give a tip. So if you want to change your belief system, you have to remember these three important points. The first point is that think always success and never failure. That means you should always have that positive attitude towards any situation in your life. So this will like largely impact your life. And the second one is constantly keep on reminding yourself that you are the best version. You are better than what you are. That means never ever underestimate the power of you. So know your worth, know your potential. And the final one, the third point is that never get settled, or never sell yourself short. Believe it. That means never get settled for small things. So it is okay when if you are happy with small things, but if you are compromising your success for things, saying reasons, saying no, I'm scared, no, I don't have belief in myself, then you're wrong. So never ever get settled for small things. So this is all about the chapter 1. Believe you can succeed, and you will. Thank you all.
Wow, Vinita, that's a great talk, great talk. I mean, it actually inspired me of late. I'm writing something on aspirations, right? I mean, I write things when something happens to me, or something related to me comes up, and someone judged me for the aspirations that I have, saying I'm not a very aspirational person. And I started writing because I want to understand what aspiration is for each and every one, right? I talked to a few people and I understand everyone has got their aspirations, and never judge people for aspirations that they have. Even a housewife at home has aspirations, right? So I think that was a great talk. It is all about mindset and what you want to achieve. Maybe you do not want to be a billionaire or a millionaire, but you want to do something really good in your life, and that's an aspiration for you. So thank you so much, Vinita. That was a great talk. Sam, yes, you have free food given
I
to
I have a newcomer. I think his name is Samapta.
Samapta.
Yeah, can you introduce him?
Hi,
Yes,
Samapta. Sam, go ahead.
Yeah, Samapta, you can give your name, where you're from, at least a couple of words about you. 30 seconds introduction to the group.
Yeah, sure, sir. Hi, hello everyone. Good evening. I am Samapta. I'm a BTech graduate specialized in automobile engineering, and currently I'm pursuing my MBA. So I belong to a place called Baleshwar. It is a coastal town in the state of Odisha. And I haven't read many of them, but I do love reading books. And currently I'm reading this very good book. I'm sure you all must have read it already. It's called Rich Dad and Poor Dad. So it's like the first book about this belonging to this genre of financial literacy. So yeah, I'm currently reading that book. Yeah, and that's all. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Samapta. Welcome to the group, and we would love to hear you talk next week on the
Thank you.
book
Thank
that
you
you're
very
reading.
much.
Thanks. And Vidya, you are next.
So I'm reading chapter 4, How to Think Big. To be honest, I saw the reminder half an hour ago on my cell, and then I started reading the chapter. I'm so sorry. But I do have a good, excellent summary on page 99. And I'm going to take my talk's clues from there. So the first thing is there's an incident that happened last year when I was somewhere in the Northeast. There was this guy who was offering for the taxi rides, and the journey from Guwahati to, I don't remember the name of the place, so somewhere in the Northeast. And he was stuttering very badly. I mean, it was so difficult for me in the rain in Meghalaya, uh, under the umbrella, and trying to save myself from the rain and to understand what he was saying. And it was extremely difficult to understand. But something about him, okay, the way that he was speaking, excluding the stuttering bit, everything else about him was really awesome. And though there were other taxi drivers also there at that point, and who said that hum abhi niklenge madam, abhi niklenge, come and all that, you can imagine a crowded market scene with umbrella, rain, and so many taxi guys vying for the very few customers there, because they need 4 people, the fifth being the driver, to fill the taxi to the full, and only then they want to go. Then it is paisa vasool for them. Otherwise, they're probably facing a loss. But something made me want to stick to this guy who was stuttering. So I told the others very firmly that kitne baje bhi niklo, main inhi ke saath jaungi. And then he got a chance to get other customers, and ultimately we went. Everything was fine. So in this chapter, what we assume are things that are successful, let's say in public speaking, right? You would never think that a person who is stuttering can actually make a good speaker, a good motivational speaker, bringing it to our context. But no, it's what you feel about yourself and how you express yourself, and not necessarily the typical measures that we call as successful people. You need to wear a coat and suit to impress people. Not necessary. You can wear what you're comfortable with and still impress people with the content that you have. So the first thing is, don't sell yourself short. What you believe about yourself, what you think about yourself, right? That is of utmost importance, because what you think will be. You will become what you think. It's like we are what we eat. Aisa hi, it is what we think about ourselves. That's exactly how we are going to become. So most of the times, in the guise of being humble about oneself, we tend to sell ourselves short. Okay, that is one thing that you should never do. Maybe you've done it in the past, but it's a great day today to change that habit. We need to conquer the crime of self-depreciation. हम जो भी हैं, कैसे भी हैं, we are good. And if there is something that needs correction in us, let's first use the opportunity of, we've heard others read, and I've also spoken about the secret book, right, in previous talks. So let's concentrate on the positives. Let's concentrate on our assets. Definitely, there would be at least minimum one thing that you're way awesome at than anybody else. Okay, not a good habit to compare with others, no problem. Definitely you're good at something, right? You're good at something. Just concentrate on your assets. No matter what others think of you, as long as you know about yourself, that's good enough. Okay, and the second point is the vocabulary that we use. Once upon a time, when people used to ask me, how are you? I used to actually tell them, oh, I am having this issue and this thing is not working and I'm really feeling. And then I realized that people don't really care when they ask you how you are. Most people just ask because hi, how are you has just become like as good as equal to saying a hello, right? But next time, if and when you have an opportunity to ask people, or if someone asks you, tell them about the bright, cheerful things in your life. Maybe not everything is going perfect, but a big thinker's vocabulary is just this: big, bright, cheerful words. I mean, we're not trying to falsify anything. We're only trying to glean the positives out of how we are. I mean, is it really necessary to tell someone that you fell from the scooter and you hurt your shins? Maybe, may not be. But then how about mentioning the same incident of falling from the scooter as I'm so lucky that I didn't break any bones. I just got a 3-inch stitch. Maybe that's positive. I don't know. So it depends on you, how you convert a situation to be more positive. Okay, so that way, even unpleasant things, even things that are not very generically concerned positive, can still be expressed in a positive manner, right? Not everything in our life is positive, but how we think about it, we can make everything in our life positive just by merely using the right vocabulary, which is big, bright, cheerful words. Okay, the third thing is stretch your vision, see what can be, not just what is. So the example that the author gives here is of 4 executives in a company, and all 4 of them were at the same level, similar backgrounds, experience, and qualifications, I believe. And it just so happened that the 3 of them who were promoted got office spaces which were slightly larger, and the 4th guy was given a slightly smaller space. Just this one tiny thing. But what did he do? He felt very discriminated against. He totally changed his behavior, his thinking, the way he was handling the current work. Everything got ruined just because he felt that he was being discriminated compared to the others, and he was not able to do a good job. And ultimately, he was, he was let go, right? What they call the pink slip. So rather than seeing in what position you are now, you should see the value in what can be in the future, right? So we need to stretch our vision. So let's say we go into some place, and then we should be able to think about how can this room be made better. Okay, even people, how can I be in such a way that I am adding more value to myself or to the other person? So these 3 things: the situation, the other person, and of course yourself. How can we add value? How can we stretch our vision to see what can the future be? How can the future be better, rather than just consider the circumstances now and then give up, right? So the third point is stretch your vision. And the 4th point is get the big view of your job. I'm so sorry. What I explained, the example was for point 4. Stretch your vision was practice adding value to things, to people, and to yourself. This is all on page 99 of the PDF that Sam sent. Okay, the example that I gave was for the 4th one. Get the bigger view of your job. Don't think just about what you are in the situation now. Think you obviously, the way you behave now and the attitude that you have now is what your next promotion is going to depend on. So get the big view of your job. Really think your present job is important. Okay, even if you have a small cubicle, it's okay. Your work is important, and the way you work will speak for itself. That next promotion depends mostly on how you think towards your present job. I think that makes sense, right? I think most of us can relate to that. If you do really awesome in your current job, obviously you will be considered for promotion if that's what you want. Okay, and the 5th thing is think about trivial things, but only focus your attention on big objectives. Okay, the examples that he mentioned was about a guy coming back from home, and he didn't have that good a day, and his wife too had not that great a day. and what she made was may not be up to the mark maybe, and it was a very petty thing, and he's like, couldn't you at least make good food? And she said, it's if you had got me a bigger stove or a better quality kitchen and a better budget, food budget, I would have done a better job. So people immediately become defensive. I mean, come on, is that really an important topic? Maybe Limi might not agree with this, but food versus anything else that is at the moment a bigger thing. I mean, you need to prioritize. What do you have to focus on first? Relationship, getting your mood better, or khane mein namak kam hai. So, and actually, khane mein namak kam hai is a good thing nowadays, right? So, these are the kind of examples that's given, which basically tells us that we need to really prioritize on which activities or which quarrels to pick. There's a famous saying, right, that you win in the war, but you win in the battle, but you lost the war. So the bigger picture is what matters. So we need to focus our attention on the bigger things and not waste our energy on trivial issues. So this is a good summary given on chapter 99. So we grow big by thinking big. Great book. I look forward to reading the chapter again calmly when I have more time. Thank you, Sam. And thank you, Taisin, for hosting the session.
Thanks a lot, Vidya. You've got great points. Conquer the fear of self-depreciation. I'm going to remember this forever. And I think great statement. And stretch your vision. That is something which we do not generally talk a lot about. And thank you so much for bringing that topic up. And it helps, at least me personally. Am I on mute so far?
For a few seconds, you were.
Just now.
Few
Okay,
seconds,
okay.
yeah.
So at least personally, it helps me to actually think through it. I write it down, whatever I feel is right for me. Thank you so much, Vidya. That was great. And you didn't speak about your fear, though.
It's exactly the same as Tamara, as I mentioned it on
Oh,
chat.
okay, that's the same thing. Okay, great. Suman, it's you next. You there?
Yeah,
Hi.
Tasleen. Hi, good evening all.
Good evening, Suman. You'll tell about your fear and then get into the chapter quickly.
Right, okay. So my biggest fear is being misunderstood. So I'm very bad at self-explaining and putting out my thoughts. So my fear is being misunderstood. So if anybody can suggest to come overcome that, it will be very helpful. All right, so today I'm going to talk about the chapter how to turn defeat into victory. See, they say failure is the first stepping stone for success, right? So it becomes a stepping stone for success only when we learn from our mistakes. See, the thing I cannot stop wondering is about our freedom fighters and the great leaders who were kept in the Sirla jails for months to years together. Actually, they were not given food and they were tortured to the level I think we cannot even imagine. But still, they fought for us and they were able to get us freedom. That is because they never accepted the defeat in their mind. Defeat is always a state of mind. We don't fail when our parents say that you are going to fail in this. We don't fail when our friends say we're going to fail into this. We fail that day when our mind start accepting that I'm going to fail in that. So never ever try to get the negative thinking in your mind. And also we see three kind of people around us, I think, every day. The one who is into addiction, depression, and he has lost all the hope in his life. The second person is who is living a mediocre life but still managing to, when he faces any threats or any problems, he or she just wants to run away from that problem. And the third kind of person is the person who has bet all the odds and is highly successful today. So again, the difference between all these three people is the state of mind, right? So the human mind works in a way that, whenever we win a competition or we pass exams with good score, we want the world to know that, yeah, I have done so much and all. But when the opposite thing happens, we don't even want to accept that, I have participated in that tournament. We just want to hide our face. We just want to run away from that situation. That is because we get emotionally attached with our problems. See, whenever our friends or relatives are calling for any suggestions or problem they are stuck in, we give them answers like a pro. That is because we are not emotionally attached with those problems. So similarly, whenever you are trying to analyze your failure, why you failed or why you was not able to do certain things, you should think from third person perspective. That helps you to keep your rational thinking on and you'll be able to find the solution better. So when we analyze the problem and come to know that let's say I'm not able to get a program right, and when I analyze and see, I see that I am lacking certain programming skills. So you should not be pessimistic and say that, oh my God, I don't know this skill, so I'll never be able to do that. I'll fail again. Instead, you should be optimistic and say that this is a skill which I have to learn, and once I learn and try again, definitely I'll be able to succeed, right? And it is very, very important to identify the root cause of your problem. Okay, it is not that see, when we see the air crash investigations or when any air crash happens, they never ever close the case without knowing that what exactly caused the air crash, because they never want to repeat the same mistake again. So you should take the same learning, in the sense you should identify what caused the problem, you have to fix it, and you have to go and try again. There is no point in trying without analyzing and understanding why I failed in this, right? So it takes a lot of courage to accept our defeat. Okay, it's not easy to get up and say that, okay, I failed in this and I will try again. It takes a lot of courage, but you should be bold and brave and try to accept your mistake. Like, yeah, I own the responsibility, and you should not blame others. You should not blame your parents, your friends, colleagues, your spouse, anybody, because blaming people will lead you into another destruction path. So that's a self-destruction path altogether. So don't blame people. Take responsibility of your failure. Also, the author has given 5 guidelines to how to turn a defeat into victory. The first one is to study the setbacks. As I told, we should try to analyze what exactly caused the failure. Ask the why question again, 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 till you reach to a point where you understand that this is the reason which caused the failure. Next one is be bold and take responsibility and be your own self-critic. Okay, try to strive for better. Try to analyze your own work again and again. Am I doing it better? How can I do it much better, much efficiently, like that? And blend persistence with examination. Let's say if you have analyzed something and you have made a plan A. So when you execute the plan A, again you might have failed. So sit back and analyze what led to the failure of the plan A. Then again mitigate the mistakes and go for plan B. Similarly, analyze plan B if it is failing again, mitigate the mistakes and go for plan C. Okay, you should always blend the persistence with examination. And you should stop blaming luck or people, as I told before, because it leads us nowhere. And always we have to remember that no matter how bad the situation is, how big the problem might appear, there is always some positive side to it. Okay, Sam, I think time up. Okay, all right, I'll just end the talk with like the few words of my favorite cricketer, Rahul Dravid sir. He was asked in an interview that how do you keep calm in this situation and how you do better every time. For that, he told that every match I see it as an opportunity. I don't see it as a pressure. So try to see every failure of yours as an opportunity and try to fix it, and you'll be able to do better. Thank you, everyone.
Wow, Suman, that was a great example. I think
Thank you.
gem of a person, right?
Yeah.
Rahul, right? And lots
Right,
of things to learn, correct?
right.
He is very comfortable in what he does, and
Yeah.
I think the recent uncomfortable thing that he has done with that cred advertisement,
Yeah.
something
Something. Yeah.
phenomenal. I cannot be more happier than what I saw in that advertisement, and I think he's a
Yeah.
gem of a person. And
I
yeah,
saw, I think, more than 20-30 times the same. Yeah,
you
I just love
cannot
him.
get over it. Yeah, you cannot
Yeah,
get over
yeah.
it. And I think uh, he also knows when to come out of his comfort zone and
Right,
create
right,
that kind of vibe with the people. And he knows the situation and current state of mind, and he wanted to do something really big is what my
right,
analysis when I saw that advertisement. But thank you so
right.
much.
Thank you,
Actually, I just
everyone.
want to
Thank you
smile.
all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Limits you.
Hi everyone, I'm Limi. So the question about Tasin asked, actually I was a person who had lots of fear. Right now I don't fear of anything. I would say maybe because of the books or maybe association. I have gradually come into that position. I don't want to be scared of anything. Okay, but one thing still I have, that is I am scared of watching horror movies. I don't watch horror. That I'm not able to come out of it. So yes, so coming to my topic, I want all of you to imagine something, what I am going to tell you. Imagine that you were not born in India. You were born in some other country. Just imagine. Any country you can think of, I'm not giving you that. Imagine of any country, you have born in some other country, what your eating habits would have been, the food what you eat, the clothes that you wear, and the language that you speak would have been the same what you are doing right now? No, right? It's completely different. As Indians, why we are speaking this, whatever language that we are speaking, or the way we dress up, or the food what we eat, that is because as we are growing up, we have seen all this from our elders. Knowingly, unknowingly, we have learned from there, right? We start behaving like our elders also. We are learning from our neighbors everywhere. What I mean to say is we are the product of the environment. Whatever we are surrounded with, we are grown up like that, and that becomes our nature. So in this book, The Magic of Thinking Big, author says in a chapter that if a person decides, he says that there are lots of people, they want to get success. They have bigger goals, but they think that this success is not for me. This is for that lucky person, or he or she is more fortunate. That's why they have got the success, or they had all the skills. That's why. But the thing is, if you want to have success, or if you have a bigger goal, you must associate with the people. There is a line in Hindi that Jaisi Sangat Vaisi Rangat, right? So wherever you associate with, you will become like that. So if you want to become successful, don't think and sit that, oh, I don't have that opportunity, or I'm not good at that. Search for such people who are already successful, or who are on the path of that success which you want. And if you mingle with them, if you associate with them, you will surely get that success. So I just want to give a simple example. As you all know, we run our workout sessions. And when I call people, they say, yes, I want to work out. I do 1 or 2 days. Then for a week or a month, I don't work out. I don't exercise. The reason is they want to be healthy, but they are not getting that association where they can come. And when they come to our group, when they start working out with us, because they are in a group where there are like-minded people who all of them want to do exercise or want to be healthy, and there is somebody to help them also to be healthy, right? So association matters. If you want to get success, you have to mingle and associate with the people who are successful. With this, I'm done. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Limi. That was a great talk, and I think great example is our book club as well, right? It influences me and inspires me, and I think people say you continuously do something for 21 days and you get habituated to it. It's something like that. I think you are in an association and you like doing it, and you're cheerful, you're happy, you forget everything, and then you start building from there. And a great example. Thank you so much. Thanks, Limi. And Prafula has shared a link for you with them for the advertisement.
Thank you so much, Prafula.
It was actually all over the news as well. So it has got a lot of buzz. And with that, our next speaker is Swati. Swati, you want to talk to us about your fear and then talk about the book? Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Tasneem. I'm Swati Gajewar. Yeah, so I have also not a fear like Limi because of that association and book reading club. Before that, I have, but with the help of the association and the book reading, when I started, always they talk about the positive thinking. So by that way, the fear is gone, and horror movie is my passion, so it will not fear about me. That's that. My topic is think right towards people. Basically, most of the time we think everybody at our perception and our eyesight, we assume the person, how type of that people. And in our mind, as you see, now there is a television, lots of people not seeing the television, but there is lots of channels. So you can identify what is the good channel or what is a bad channel. And in news, and you can identify news is good for us, but nowadays the negativity is going around. Everybody is talking about the bad news. So we have to stop it, because our mind have only 2 channels. One is positive, one is negative. And it is a broadcasting channel, which is transform the message in your mind, which is going through. So if you are thinking and seeing all the negative things, So always you going into the negative force. Like take an example. If you are seeing and somebody is suffering from some problem, now that there is a corona going on. So if you are thinking that, or you are listening all the news, the negative, then if anybody else or someone talking about someone else, just let's take example on my, I am seeing the lots of pictures in Facebook, that person is died, that person is died. In the next day, my friend put his picture with her son because she is gave a birth to a baby. But I saw the picture of that girl and I fear कि how मतलब इसके साथ भी कुछ हो गया है गलत, इसकी भी डेथ हो गई है. I have not seen the whole picture. He is putting the baby in his hand and she is giving the picture in Facebook. तो बेसिकली उसने अपने बेबी के साथ अपनी पिक्चर फेसबुक पे डाली थी, लेकिन मेरे माइंड में वही पिक्चर घूम रही थी कि सबकी डेथ हो रही है तो उनकी पिक्चर्स आ रही है. तो मैंने भी एकदम वही रियलाइज कर लिया. मैं एकदम फ्रस्ट्रेट हो गई. फिर मैंने ढंग से उसको सोचा, देखा तो पता चला कि उसने अपनी खुशी वहां पे शेयर की है. So like that, if you are think negative and you are watching all the negative things, so you just first imagine the negative. Like that, if you are in a positive thoughts or you are in a positive association, you always think and analyze all the things very prospective way and in a positive way. Like take an example, in an association, in your organization, your boss give you a responsibility, you fulfill that responsibility, but he gave you some remarkable positions, yes, some points, you have to work on that. And you, if you are a negative thought people and you are in some negative views, so you will think about how he can see like that, I am doing all the work perfectly. You always think about the negative. At that time, you have not go to the negative. You have to think up or ask to your boss, what do you mean by say? What do you mean and what you want to say? It by this way, you can come out with your negative thought, because the perspective of that person is different as you are taking it. Just take an example of my personal example. In my tower, one lady is suffered from corona. Her and her husband both are corona positive. When her mother came here from Jhansi, they belongs to Jhansi, but now they are living in Ghaziabad. They came here. They take their daughter from Jhansi and admit their son-in-law into a hospital. The situation is like that. There is a lack of bed, so they admit their son-in-law here in Delhi because their relatives of the son-in-law is there. That's why on support of them, they admit here. And her daughter, they bring with her to Jhansi and they admit her to there because there is a lack of bed. There is no bed in the Delhi. There is a crisis of the bed for corona patient. But when I shared with the news to my mother-in-law, she told me, how is the wife is dead? She left her husband here and go to their mother with her mother. How it can be possible? What type of lady she is? But she don't know what happened with her. She is already not well. There is no bed available. That's why she went to her mother. So like on the way of one talk, she analyzed the people and she give the reaction. Because that time we are listening all the negative things, we first come negative in our mind. We don't think what are the prospect of the other, what are the situation with the other people. They have not our choice. So that's why they have to go there. Like that, that's why we have to always think and we have to analyze what is the good thing. And we have to likable in the hand of other people and we have to see as a likable person. If you are meeting with some person and your gesture, posture, your attitude, your eye contact is not proper, that person will not react with you. They will talk with you and after some time they will drop you because they know you are not taking an interest of that person. First, you have to understand the people, you have to analyze in from which background they are coming, what are their thought process, then you have to talk with them and you have to feel comfortable to them. Then they will be good things. If you live with the negative people, you always think negative. First, negative thoughts will come in your mind. So just brush it up, think positively, what are the other circumstances will be happen, then you will be grow. And there will be one thing, the most talking people and the most.
Swati, sorry, time is exceeding more than 4 minutes.
Last quote. Most talking people and the most successful people really a same person. हम सोचते हैं कि जो ज्यादा बोल रहा है वो सक्सेसफुल है, ऐसा नहीं है, दोनों अलग अलग हो सकते हैं. That's all.
Thank you so much, Swati. Thanks a lot. That was a great talk, and I think how you what influences in a positive and a negative way, and how do you differentiate it, is really, really important. And to cut short what you do not want to take it to your head. So thank you so much. That was a great talk. Thanks a lot, Swati. And we have Alok. Hi, Alok. Good evening.
Hi, Tasin. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. And my name is Alok Kumar. And with profession, I am a software engineer. So one thing afraid me a lot. Like I always having fear of starting any discussion, and really looking for some suggestion from all of you, which can help me to overcome this. So today, like I will be talking about chapter 10 of the book Magic of Thinking Big, and this is one of the best book I have come across, which shows the path to achieve big goals and the way to achieve them. So before I'll start, I have few questions to ask, and the questions are like, why not all the students study in the class, they score like similar marks, although they have the same faculty? Why not all the students from IIT or IIM are CEO, unlike Sundar Pichai? And why not all the team members, they get good, similar hike and promotions? So what I have realized common in them, in their group, is their idea. Everyone have the plan, everyone have the idea, and they knows how to score good marks and how to hold a good position and how to get good hike and promotion. But the difference is active, some of them are active and some of them are passive. So the person who are active, they are doer. They make the action and get the things done, follows their plan and ideas. Whereas passive people, they keep on postponing their plans until and unless they are proved that they cannot do this. So Mr. A, who don't wait for a perfect situation to arise before they act on their thought, whereas Mr. P always find a reason. They always look for a better reason to postpone their plan until they are too late. So don't wait for the condition are perfect, and never will be the so never wait for the perfect condition to arrive, and always expect in future there will be some obstacle and the challenges, and come through the way to solve those challenges and move ahead. So remember, ideas are alone won't bring success. Have those ideas, act upon that, and that will add some value to that. So start your mental engine mechanically. Don't wait for the spirit to start you, to get you moving, but start acting and your spirit will move on. Think in terms of now, tomorrow's, day after, and later is always a synonyms of the word like failure, and it will lead to the never. We and I'm starting now, rather the now kind of person, and with this I'm done. Thank you, Tasin.
Thank you so much, Alok. That was a great talk and great points given, right? You have actually said you have fear of talking, but I think you've got really good content. And I think when you have content, or when you're very confident that you're not bothered about what people are thinking, you will always be the first one to start the discussion or have a discussion. And also for me personally, you don't really have to be the first person to start the discussion. It's always clarity of thoughts wherever you are, whenever you are, or if you're starting your discussion even at the end of everyone completing it, it's okay. But the way you think and the clarity of thoughts are really important. You have told a lot of pointers in what you have spoken. I think confidence is the only thing which is going to, and do not ever think you have to start the discussion. I personally don't believe it. So even if you're starting a discussion in third, fourth, fifth place, it's okay. But clarity of thoughts and confidence, I think that is the only thing which is going to help you. But thank you so
Thank you.
much. We didn't see a bit of a hesitation or fear in you when you were talking. So thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank
you,
you.
Tasneem.
And I think Sam has an office call, so he wouldn't be talking today. I will take a minute or two and then we can close. I know we have overshot the time, but quickly, I was reading about this chapter, Build Confidence and Destroy Fear. And that's one of the reasons why I asked what is the fear that we all have and we all want to overcome, or we all do not want to actually think about that particular fear. I mean, for me especially, I just I just cannot think about anything that scares me, right? I mean, I cannot just think about being in water because I'm very scared of water. It actually gives me jitters. So I do not really think about it. Even if I'm talking right now, I have that fear. So I really do not think about it. And one thing that I've noticed when I asked this question, I had a purpose also, that we hesitate a lot, right? I even said you do not have to talk, we can actually put our suggestions or advices in our chat box. I hardly see people advising or writing anything. You really do not have to be an expert. It's just that our hesitation or our comfort zone that does not allow us to actually put in our thoughts. Correct. It's very important to share our thoughts, be it a silly thing or be it really serious or actual advice from your life. You just have to come out of that comfort zone, put yourself in an uncomfortable zone, and also do not think about what people are going to judge you for. Correct. I mean, I talk a lot of things here on this platform, and I make fun of myself at times. I talk to people and ask weird questions at times, and I've put up a lot of weird things on the chat boxes at times. But I think that's how I'm going to be very comfortable with what I think or what I actually have in my head. And if I get that fear in me saying, okay, what are people going to think? I will never come out of that comfort zone. And it's very important. This chapter also says that you have to pick your fear and throw it aside. You have to think that you're not going to have this fear, or think about that fear in itself and work towards going ahead and presenting yourself in front of that fear and say, okay, uh, I'm not going to hesitate. I'm not going to be very comfortable with what I am, but I will be very confident and have clarity of thoughts and put across my thought processes in front of everyone, which actually helps me a lot of times. And there are times when I am very hesitant and I cannot talk because I'm not very clear about the thoughts or clear about certain topic, and I actually stop myself from talking at that point of time because I want to gather my thoughts and then present myself. Because I know if I do not have knowledge about certain things, I have that fear and I fumble and I cannot talk properly. So I avoid those situations. It's very important to have clarity of thoughts, pick that fear and throw it away and say, I'm going to face this. And that's actually the chapter talks about in this particular topic. And with that, thank you so much. Thanks a lot, everyone. It was a great talk. And next time I ask questions, please answer it on the chat box or talk. So it's very important all of us come out of that fear or uncomfort zone that we all think we are in. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. And see you all on
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Bye.
Good night, all. Bye.